Carmela, Oregon Pinot Noir is all the rage.
Especially for you.
And so today we're doing something we have never, ever done before.
Oh, wow.
We're going to head-to-head taste a less expensive, under $25 Pinot Noir with one that's more than twice as expensive, both from the same vintage, both from Oregon's Willamette Valley, and we're going to see if we can actually taste the difference between the two.
It's going to be fun.
Spoiler alert, they are different.
Very.
But which one did we like better? You got to listen to find out.
All right.
Hello, fellow Pinot Nuts or Pinot Knots, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair. Okay, if you're new to the podcast, here's what we do. Every week, we buy wines under $25 with our own money. We taste them and give you our brutally honest opinion on whether they're worth buying. Nobody pays us to review specific wines. We don't accept free bottles from wineries, and we're not afraid to call out a bad wine when we taste one. Decanter Magazine calls us fun, irreverent,
chatty,
and entertaining. So if that sounds like your vibe, welcome to our tribe of wine lovers. So you weren't crazy about that.
I feel like you were trying to...
Too hard.
No, but also it's like not hard enough, actually.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Pinot nuts, like you're nuts about Pinot. Okay, but
No,
it's
but
part of the
honey,
theme.
listen.
It's part of the theme.
I know, and I do. I mean, it's a good college try. Always.
Thank you. You're always very supportive.
I shouldn't be critical, especially when I haven't come up with a one.
No, it's okay.
So I take that all back, okay?
No, you don't have to. I don't want you to take it back. But Carmela, today we're going to do something we have never done before. And that is do a head-to-head tasting and comparison of a less expensive wine versus a more expensive wine to see if we can really tell the difference.
Okay.
So today we have an Oregon Pinot Noir that's under $25 and is highly rated. In fact, it's received 90 ratings from multiple sources, so it's no slouch. And if it's good, it'll be a killer value. And we're comparing it to another Oregon Pinot Noir that retails for $50.
Wow.
And has a 93 rating from a really reputable source and a 94 from Sucky James Suckling. So that doesn't count. But
wow, 94 though, James.
yeah,
Woo.
yeah, I know. He never does that.
My gosh.
So this is not a head-to-head of a crappy wine and a good wine of the same varietal and region. This is not a joke. This is dead
We're not
serious.
joking
No,
today.
this is serious.
Your serious pants on?
I've got my serious underwear on.
Ooh.
And this is a head-to-head of two wines that have good ratings, come from the same region and same varietal, and we want a fair fight.
Wow. Nothing below the belt.
Nothing below the belt. Now, I should note, Carmela, that we are not doing a blind tasting. And as you would guess, blind tastings are seen as sort of the gold standard of wine tasting, or really any comparison, because you're not letting any factors other than the wine itself impact you. Not the label or the price or the region or anything like that.
Or the vibe. We're not,
Or the vibe.
we're not very vibey down here anyway.
We're not. We're in the basement, so it's not super vibey in the basement. And so because we're not doing that, there is some potential bias, we just have to be honest, that could sneak in. And so we want to admit that. But in all honesty, most of the time, you out there in listening land and us are not blind tasting wines anyway.
Right. I mean, being blindfolded especially is not smart.
Not fun. It's not fun.
Right.
So, but usually they don't blindfold you. They just,
I know.
Okay. We'll try as hard as we can to be open-minded and unbiased in our tasting today. But on that note, Carmela, because you're curious, I can tell from your face, something you should know about most of the wine reviews and wine reviewers and wine tastings you read is that often they are not totally unbiased.
Right. They're not blindfolded.
No, and it's not unusual that wine reviewers either receive free bottles or receive commissions or in some way compensated. In fact, many people are surprised when we tell them we buy our own wines because they assume that, no, hey, you guys must get wine sent to you or something. We don't. Even if we do, we will not review them. And we're very honest about people who reach out to us about that. But here's some things to know. Like major publications, including Wine Enthusiast and Decanter, they do state that they may earn commissions from affiliate partners when readers purchase wines through their links on their websites.
Okay.
Professional tasting panels that evaluate thousands of bottles annually often are tasting wines that have been submitted for review by the producers themselves. Again, something we don't do. too. And while some organizations prioritize blind tastings, other reviewers evaluate wines while working with the winery or the winemaker, like sitting right in front of them.
Oh my!
So there's some
pressure.
That's right. So there's no clean number that I could come up with or find on the interwebs showing how often professional wine reviewers are outright paid or compensated to review or endorse wines. But there's some smoke around the issue, Carmela. Oof. Some smoke. Oof. So in one of the biggest scandals, allegations around Robert Parker's Spain operation claimed it was charging wineries for access to wine advocate critic Jay Miller.
Oh,
and while an investigation said it found no evidence Miller himself received anything of value, it still concluded the whole setup created an appearance of impropriety.
This is like wine in the news.
It kind of is, but this is kind of a extended version of it, I guess.
Okay.
Jimmy Suckling, and those of you who listen to us know that we think he's a hack. He also faced accusations that he had been paid about $24,000 Canadian dollars by Quebec's SAQ for tasting sessions, though Suckling said that the money was for videos, not for tasting wines. Yeah, right, Jim. Right. And in New Zealand, the issue even got more concrete with reporting that some reviewers and review businesses openly charged fees tied to reviews. So it's out there. It's out there.
I'm glad we're not one of them.
We are not. You know what? That is something that we take very seriously, actually, that we are unbiased and we buy our own wines and all that stuff. We say it all the time. It means something to us.
Right.
Now, another thing to take into consideration, Carmela, is that there has been a lot of research done into the consistency of experts. Because, you trust these people and it's like they must know what they're talking about. Kind of like you probably think that maybe we know what we're talking about. And the results are not great. So even if the reviewers are on the up and up, they're not taking any money, they may not be able to give great reviews, and here's some reasons why. Statistical analysis of major wine competitions found that tasting results can be really inconsistent. This is a great one. A study at the California State Fair secretly presented judges with samples from the same bottle 3 times. And even trained professional palates frequently gave significantly different scores to the same wine.
No.
Yes.
Oh, you guys.
Yes. The study also concluded that the objective evaluation of large numbers of wines, and in some of these competitions, they're tasting 50 wines, 100 wines, 200, they're tasting tons of wines, is beyond human ability. No. And that medals are awarded basically at random.
Oh, no.
That's
kind of discouraging.
It is. It's called testing fatigue. So if a reviewer is basing something off of a major like wine competition, probably not the best thing.
Well, after a while, you're just like, I don't know.
I don't know. It tastes like wine.
I just taste like the last one I drank.
Yeah, it didn't taste that one, so I guess it's better. Oh. The tasting order also matters.
I believe that.
Yeah, the bottle you taste first matters like differently. You're going to have a different impression than when you taste second. Mm-hmm. And then even a person's mood or the temperature of the room can shape perception. So if you're having a good day or a bad day, you may rate your wine differently.
Of course.
And then there's also the clustering problem. So you probably noticed this, most professional wine ratings like Jimmy Suckling are clustered within a very narrow band, typically between 84 and 96 points. Mm-hmm. Which brings the quality of those ratings into question. Like, what's the difference between an 88 and a 90? I don't know. Do you know?
It's a feeling.
It's a vibe.
I hate to say it.
Yeah.
It could just be.
Yeah. And then here's one more of just to bring it right home, is that MRI scan experiments have shown that when tasters are told that a wine is expensive, the reward and motivation centers of their brains activate.
No.
Yes.
Hey, but how are they testing that? They're really...
They got an MRI. They got him in the. I don't know. Like when you spill the wine. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what. Maybe they're just.
And who thought of that? We're gonna do an MRI in this guy's brain.
This is where your tax dollars are going, my friends. Anyway, so here's our take on the issue, Carmela, because that's what really matters. What do we think, right?
Right.
Because we want you to trust us. It's critical that you trust us.
Is that what this is all about?
It's about
building trust.
It's all about trust
and mistrust with other people.
That's right. Don't trust anybody else. Just trust us. Because we feel like all of our credibility, or at least a portion of it, is baked into the fact that you can trust our reviews and ratings, whether you agree with them or not, and that's actually part of it too. So first, as we always let you know, we buy all of our own wine, and again, we don't review a wine that has been sent to us. We also openly admit, Carmela, that you and I have a specific palate, that we have kind of tasting preferences, that we may not like what you like, and so rather than expecting you all to agree with us or assuming that we're always right, we just want you you to use us as a reference point.
Right.
And then we try to be very credible by tasting wines that we have never tasted before on the show. So when we taste a wine, it's a new wine. It's very rare that we are tasting a wine on the show that we've already tasted before. And then we also tell you if we like the wine or we don't like the wine. Like most wine reviewers only tell you about wines that they like. They're only telling you the wines that they rate highly, but we're going to tell you the ones we don't like too. And then the last thing is we kind of like this 10-point scale. We think it's pretty clear that if a wine's a 5, it's very different than if it's an 8. I think it's easier to deal with than like, what is the difference between an 89 and a 91? I don't know. But the difference between a 6 and a 10 is huge.
Right.
So we know we're not perfect, but we want to be objective and honest and reliable in giving you our ratings and reviews. And so that's that. And on that note, we have these 2 Oregon Pinot Noirs that we need to taste and review to let you know if we can tell the difference between the one that's twice as expensive as the other. And again, both of these wines have strong ratings, and so that's part of it. And we'll talk a little bit more about Oregon Pinot Noir, but first,
you got to do our shameless plug.
That's right. So thank you for listening to us and for supporting our show. And we've said this now 47 times, but we buy all the wine we taste and review every week so that we can give you real and honest reviews. And so if you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to our podcast and leave us a nice 5-star rating and review so we can grow listeners. And thanks to everybody who's done that. We love to hear from you. We always respond. So follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at The Wine Pair Podcast. You can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. You can sign up for our email newsletter there, and you can always just send us a note at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. Just let us know how things are going.
Right.
You know? And if you trust us, let us know. Do you trust us? Just say, Joe.
I mean, maybe not.
Just say, Joe, we trust Carmela. We are not sure about you.
No.
How
I
about
think
that?
you're very trustworthy.
Do you think so?
Yeah, after 30 years. I think you're very trustworthy.
I would hope so.
I can attest to that.
30 years old. That's nice after being 30 years old. And as we do every week, we'll tell you someone we think you should recommend the Wine Pair podcast to, because the best way for us to grow listeners is when you tell your family and friends about us. And this week, we want you to recommend us to anyone who loves Pinot Noir, but wants to know if they can actually find a Pinot Noir that's good and that's not super expensive, because this may be the episode for them.
Yes.
So, Carmela, I think it's time to find out just what the makes Oregon Pinot Noir special. What do you think?
I'm ready.
Okay. Now, many of you know that we do love Pinot Noir, and I'm starting to get a real feel and a real affection for Oregon Pinot Noirs. And the reason why it's taken some time for me and Carmela to get into them is that I had to sort of work through different producers of Oregon Pinot Noir to find ones I really like, and because they are at a relatively high price point. Most of them. So it can be an investment to get into them. And so price I will get into in a minute. And on a total side note, I don't even know why I'm bringing this up, Carmela. On a total side note, my favorite Oregon Pinot Noir right now is made by Audiant. So
okay.
For those of you out there who are curious, put that in your brain.
$25?
It is not. It is definitely not $125.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so back to price point. We don't do a lot of Oregon Pinot Noir on this podcast because despite the fact that it is often considered high QPR, QPR is the term that we and other wine nerds use. That means high quality to price ratio, and it's sort of the purpose of our podcast. But the truth is that despite this high QPR reputation for Oregon Pinot Noir, as we said, most Oregon Pinot Noir price points are just too high for our podcast. Most of them are just over $25, and there's some good reasons for that. And overall, Oregon Pinot Noir is sort of intentionally positioned within the higher price segments of the wine market. So to start there, you can basically find about 3 tiers of Oregon Pinot Noir wine pricing. And this is what you're going to run into. There's entry level or best buys. Those are between $20 and $35. These are usually blends from multiple vineyards across the Willamette Valley. They're consistent. They offer good quality. You know, even $35 for a lot of people is a lot of money to spend. So even at the low end, Oregon Pinot Noirs can be expensive for people. The next level are the estate and sub-appellation bottlings. Those range between $40 and $80. This is where most of the region's specialized production sits, and these often come from single AVAs like Dundee Hills or Eola Amity Hills. And there's a lot of good examples like Christome and Domaine Drouin and Audiant is another one. And then there are luxury wines. And the luxury Oregon Pinot Noirs are $100 plus, sometimes $600 or more.
Oh boy.
So Oregon Pinot Noir does have some variation in price. You can find them as low as $20. And some may find it actually reasonable for the type and quality of wine we're talking about. So me personally, personally, I think for the price and for the quality, they're pretty darn good if you want a really good Pinot Noir. And then the question is just why is it more expensive than the average wine? Like, why is Oregon Pinot Noir just more expensive?
Good question. Do you know that answer?
I do.
Okay.
So, the very first thing we should just say about winemakers in general is that, especially smaller winemakers, they're doing God's work because it is hard work. They have to buy the plots of land. They have to grow the grapes. They have to make the wine. It is not a low cost. It is a high cost, high involvement job. And so just from the get-go, you should know that wine has a higher price point. I'm not talking about the mass-produced wines. I'm talking about like artisan wines have a higher price point because these people are putting a lot of time and care into what they're doing. So that's just one. Another reason why Pinot Noir is called the heartbreak grape for a reason. If you ever seen the movie Sideways, you know this, but it's difficult to grow. It has thin skins. It's susceptible to sun damage and rot and frost.
They're kind of high maintenance.
High maintenance. So that alone increases the price. The second is, like I was saying, Oregon has a lot of small scale producers. Oregon is a region of mom and pop wineries. Approximately 70% of Oregon wineries produce fewer than 5,000 cases a year.
Wow.
So they are small organizations. They don't benefit from economies of scale. And so that's why they can't sell their wines for $10. They have to price them at the point that costs them to make, and so they can make a little bit of profit.
Well, right.
And then there's high land and labor costs. So as the region's reputation has grown, land in the Willamette Valley where it's good to grow grapes is getting more expensive. And then premium producers, which a lot of these Oregon Pinot Noir makers are, they're very artisan, they care about it. They use labor-intensive practices like hand sorting and hand pruning rather than machines. And so that type of care costs money. And another thing that I'll bring up too is that a lot of them are organic, sustainable farms. So they're not using cheap shortcuts with things like fertilizers and stuff. So there's a lot of care in there. So there are a lot of good reasons why Oregon Pinot Noir is not exactly cheap. But I will say it is kind of considered one of the value entry points into the world of premium wine. And I might even call it an affordable luxury, even if it remains more expensive than what most people will normally buy. And I think one thing to remember is that a Burgundy, again, Burgundy is Pinot Noir, red Burgundy is Pinot Noir. You're going to spend a lot more money for a similar quality wine when it comes from France.
Right.
So you should just know that. Now, a little bit more information on the Willamette Valley. So the Willamette Valley is a specific AVA, and AVA stands for American Viticultural Area. This is all of the wine growing areas in the United States that are officially recognized are called AVAs. And so when you buy a bottle of Pinot Noir from Oregon, you may see that it says just Willamette Valley, or you may see a specific sub-appellation like we said, Aola Amity Hills. If it just says Willamette Valley, it's going to come from a blend of grapes from one or more of the 11 different AVAs or sub-appellations within Willamette Valley. But if you do see a specific sub-appellation, here are the ones that most people consider the top 5.
Okay.
I would say all of them are very good, but these are kind of critics consider the top 5. Dundee Hills is considered the most famous, and it's the first. It's the birthplace of Oregon Pinot Noir. It's known for an elegant Pinot Noir. Yamhill Carlton is the next, and it's known for powerful or muscular wines with darker fruits and baking spices. And the Soter wine that we're drinking today is in the Yamhill Carlton AVA, but it's a blend.
Now, you're going to tell me which one is the more expensive one?
Yeah, we'll know because we always do that. We always talk about the price, so you will know. The next of the top 5 is Aola Amity Hills. It has a reputation for high-scoring wines that are known for crisp acidity and firm tannins. Then there's Ribbon Ridge. Ribbon Ridge is the smallest sub-appellation in the valley, and it's considered very prestigious. And then there's Chehalem Mountains, and that's the last and largest. And in fact, Ribbon Ridge is actually kind of a sub-appellation of Chehalem Mountains. And the other one is Laurelwood, so remember that because that will come up. But because the Chehalem Mountains are kind of vast, it's a little bit hard to pin them down, but they are known for wines with sturdy tannins and bright acidity. So if you're looking for an Oregon Pinot, those are sort of the 5 that you should be looking for. Now, I'm not going to say that there aren't great ones you can find in the other ones, but as a shortcut, if you're starting out, those would be great places to look. And you can always go to our show notes. Did you know we have show notes?
I knew that.
Yeah, you can go to our show notes and look for this episode, and you don't have to memorize it. There's no test.
Wow.
You can just go to the show notes and
guys, no pressure.
No pressure. You can just
the fact that you said that puts a little pressure.
I'm saying there's no pressure. You just go on your phone right now. Go on your phone, look up the winepairpodcast.com, find this episode, look for the show notes, and you'll see those 5 appellations there.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
That's it.
Participation points for that?
Yeah, why not?
Stickers?
Why not?
Okay.
But Carmela, I think that's enough information. I think it's time to learn a little bit more about the specific wines we're tasting today. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay, well now usually the wines we choose for our episodes are under $25 each, but in this case, as we've been mentioning, one is under $25 and the other sells for $50. So a good, one's twice as much as the other. And both of these wines should be relatively easy to find because I bought one on wine.com and the other you can find on the winery's website. We'll give you more information about that. And you'll have no trouble finding Oregon Pinot Noir if you live in the United States. Outside the United States, maybe less easy. But the ones you're most likely to find are the mass-produced ones like Underwood, A to Z, and Erath. If you want the really good ones, you're going to have to hunt around. And as always, go to your local wine merchant, and they will be more than happy to find you a great Oregon Pinot Noir. And by the way, I mentioned this, Carmela. I was out on a little trip to Vegas, and I came home last night, and I told Carmela that I had 2 excellent Pinot Noirs from Oregon there.
But they were not under $25.
They were, a glass of one of them was about $22.
Ooh.
But one was Lingua Franca and the other was Beau Frere. So those are really good ones that I like a lot, and the wines were delicious. Okay, the first wine we're going to drink today is the 2023 Soter Vineyards Planet Oregon Pinot Noir, and this is the less expensive wine. So I am telling you, Carmela.
Okay.
This wine got a 90 rating from Wine Spectator, a 90 rating from Wine Enthusiast, and Vineyards gave it an 89. So these are really good scores, especially for an Oregon Pinot Noir. The wine is labeled, I found a tech sheet, the wine is labeled as Willamette Valley, so they don't specifically say where the grapes are from, so we can assume it's a blend of Willamette Valley Pinot Noir grapes. The tech sheet says the wine was fermented using traditional methods like small open-top vessels. It was aged for 8 months in 100% used French oak barrels. So remember that French oak is the lighter oak. It's a lighter oak than American. And the fact they use used oak means that they're really trying to just get some oxygen on the wine. They're not really trying to get a lot of oak flavor into the wine. A used oak, especially if it's been used more than like a couple of times, has almost no oak flavor. And a lot of times, if you're curious and you want to impress your wine nerd friends, you might say it's neutral oak.
Oh,
neutral.
Nice.
They also call out that 89% of the wine is live or LIVE certified, and the remaining 11% is organic. So LIVE, if you didn't know, stands for Low Input Viticulture and Enology. And it's a really rigorous third-party sustainability standard for vineyards and wineries in the good old Pacific Northwest where we are. And it verifies that wine growers use environmentally friendly, socially responsible, and science-based practices to promote soil health, biodiversity, and ethical labor. So we have a link to that in our show notes if you want to know more. And Soter also gives 1% of their sales to the Oregon Environmental Council.
Oh, wow.
So if that's important to you, this will be a wine that makes you feel good when you drink it.
Right.
In more ways than one. The next wine we're going to drink is the 2023 Chehalem Estate Vineyard Pinot Noir. And full disclosure, we have interviewed the winemaker at Chehalem, and we did visit their tasting room when it opened, but we bought this wine ourselves. So promise. We promise, but we have to be honest.
We pinky swear.
We have to be honest. We don't want anybody to go, hey, didn't you post pictures on your Instagram from there?
Right.
We did.
I mean, if the paparazzi were there and they took pictures.
That's right.
That's fine.
We're not going to lie. We're not going to get caught in a lie and say we're a doctor or anything like that.
Right.
We're going to be really honest.
I mean, you're almost a doctor, though.
Of wine. I could be.
I mean, your brother's a doctor.
That's true. It's kind of like being a doctor.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will still endeavor to give a real and honest review of this wine. We promise, like Carmela said.
Pinky promise.
That's right. The wine got some strong ratings, as we mentioned earlier, including...
I said pinky swear.
Pinky, what is the difference between a swear and a promise?
I don't remember. You're gonna find out what I said. Did I say pinky promise?
I think you did say pinky swear, but are they different?
I think maybe.
What do you think the difference would be?
Well, I don't know. Pinky swear.
Like
Whoa. I think that it's pinky promise. I think I just made up pinky swear.
I like pinky swear myself.
I don't even know what that means.
Do you
Maybe
remember
it's a baby swear.
Do you remember Pinky Tescadero?
No.
From Happy Days?
Not really.
Okay.
I should. Well, your daughter had a dog named Pinky.
Yes.
A stuffed dog.
A stuffed dog, not a real dog.
Yeah, but I don't remember Pinky Tescadero.
Well, look up old Happy Days and you'll see her.
I probably will remember.
Can we get back to the wine?
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, I got a 93 from Wine Spectator. I really trust them. There was also a good tech sheet for this wine, so I can tell you that the wine is from the Chehalem Mountain AVA and specifically from the Laurelwood District. Remember, I said that would come up. There you go.
Remember that.
There you go. The Laurelwood District was only established in 2020.
Oh.
It's kind of interesting. It's at a higher elevation, so it gives good acidity. You should know that. Higher elevations tend to be cooler, and that's good for acidity in grapes. And they say the soil gives the wine a distinct mineral edge.
Wait, I think I understand pinky swear. I'm sorry to interrupt. I think pinky swear is like you are like not lying. I think, and pinky promise is like you're keeping a promise.
I like it.
I think if pinky swear is like, like if you are swearing on a Bible.
Yeah, I get it. I like that you delineated those and that you spent the last few minutes of my talking not listening to what I was saying at all.
I was was processing that in my brain.
I like it. It's like,
but I can tell you what you were talking about too.
I know you can multitask.
Right.
Me.
No, I don't know if
Omnitask.
I can.
No.
You should see the doodling I'm doing too.
I know you're doing doodling. Trust me. People, you guys don't know this, but I'm like working hard. I'm like focused. I got my show notes. Carmela's doodling.
Well,
she's thinking about pinkies.
I need a script.
I don't know.
After all these years.
You will never get a script.
I don't have a script when it's not my turn to talk.
No.
Although I don't ever have a turn to talk. I just talk when I want to. Okay, back to the show.
Do you feel better now that you've released this?
I don't know, but I wonder how many people are going to look up Pinky Promise, Pinky Swear, because that is going to be like one of the first things I do when we're done tonight.
Another thing that you should just let us know about. Just email us and let us know. What do you prefer to use?
I need to.
I don't think you need to look it up. I think you cracked the case.
Well, I don't know. I don't know for certain.
Okay, can we get back to the wine?
Yes.
Okay, so one thing I like about this wine is that they tell you the Pinot Noir clones that they use, which in this case is 90% Pommard clone and 10% clone 777. That's not a Boeing jet. It is a specific clone. And these clones were planted in 2008, so they're still relatively young. And they also say that after harvest, this wine was destemmed and fermented in open-top stainless steel tanks. It was aged in 31% new French oak barrels. I think they mean that there were 31% of the wine went into new French oak barrels for 10 months before blending and bottling. So they're blending the wines that were in the oak and the wine that was not in the oak from the same vintage, same grapes, everything. So it should have a little bit of new oak, which will impart some wine flavors, but not a ton. And if you're a real wine nerd and you want to put this in your brain box, Pommard and 777 are two of the most popular Pinot Noir clones, with Pommard being famous for high tannins, intense earthiness, and savory notes, and dark cherry, and 777 is a Dijon clone. It's no, yes,
just give a number. Just give it a number.
Right. And it's known for being very aromatic with cola-like qualities and a velvety texture. Kind of sexy.
777.
Yeah.
Lucky number 7.
That's right. 3 times. You know what that
goodness.
means. I don't know. Okay. But I think that's enough information. I think we need to start drinking these wines and seeing if we can tell the difference. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. If you have a wine, an Oregon Pinot Noir, if you have one of these Oregon Pinot Noirs, if you have any Pinot Noir or just a red wine, drink along with us and see if you agree with our tasting notes. And we'll be right back. Okay, we're back and we're ready to try our first wine. It is the Soter Vineyards Planet Oregon Pinot Noir. It's from Willamette Valley, Oregon. It's a 2023. It was $22.97 at wine.com, 13.5% alcohol, 100% Pinot Noir. And as we mentioned, Wine Spectator gave it a 90, Wine Enthusiast gave it a 90, and Vineyards gave it an 89, and Vivino only had a 3.9. But what do they know?
Right.
The first thing that I'll say is it's kind of a subdued bottle. It's got a nice little picture of the state of Oregon, but it is a screw cap, which we are very positive on.
Yes.
We love a screw cap. What about the color, Carmela?
Well, to me, it looks like a Pinot.
It looks like a Pinot.
Yeah.
That burgundy
very
red.
Pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so inky.
No.
Like it's definitely got some brightness to it.
Kind of a ruby red. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's smell it and see what we think.
It smells nice.
Yeah, I think it's got a little... it does have a little cherry, but I almost want to say strawberry.
Oh, I would say so.
Or raspberry, like a red berry.
Right, I would think so. Yeah, the first thing I thought of was cherry for sure. But even like some licorice,
Like a cherry licorice?
Like a cherry licorice. Yeah, it's kind of got this real like candy taste or smell to it.
I agree. A little Twizzler. I'm smelling a little heat.
Okay, like a
Alcohol.
Okay.
But maybe a little cinnamon too.
I was going to say, so more of a baking spice. I was going to say, like, is it a cayenne heat, like a hot heat, a spicy heat, or...
I think it's more like a cinnamon bear.
Yeah.
But
I could see that.
But it does have a little alcohol-y hotness on it too.
Okay. What was the alcohol percentage?
Only 13 and a half. 13 and a half. Okay. Were you doodling while I was doing it?
I might have, or thinking about, you know what?
Pinkies
and swearing. And...
I don't know. You said you know what? Like there was something else I should have known.
No.
There's a little earth on it too. Like a little, almost like, this is going to sound really corny, but almost like pine forest.
Oh, a pine
No,
forest.
do you get, come on. Like,
like a fresh forest earth. Yeah.
Fresh earth forest.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I think so. I like that.
All right. Well, I'm curious. I think we should taste it.
Okay, let's do it.
It does have good complexity. So let's see what
in the
taste.
scent.
In the scent. It's nice. I think it is a little hot. I think it's a little
hot or a little young.
Young. We just opened it up. We just cracked the screw cap, and so it does taste a little bit like. I feel like maybe it needs some air.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. Because it is. It's like the cherry is, instead of strawberry and raspberry, which I am still kind of getting, it's kind of like a tart cherry. Not like a deep red cherry, like a Rainier cherry almost.
Yeah, I was expecting this kind of like tartness and acidity. I think it's more of like a cherry liqueur than I was expecting.
Oh, so you're getting some sweetness on it.
But more alcohol. More like a cherry liqueur.
Yeah, you're definitely finding it hot, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's only a 2023.
It's not as smooth as you would expect for a Pinot.
Yeah.
But I bet it's a good food wine, which all
Well,
Pinots
let's do
are.
that. What food would you have with it?
Well, I think like for some reason I'm thinking of like, I don't know why this, but like an eggplant parmesan.
Okay. I'm with you.
Just as something like you could have a little bit of a...
I like that.
For some reason, it doesn't have to be a big, meaty dinner with this wine.
I was thinking, when you said that, I went to Italian foods and I did think bolognese. Like, I think
it'd be really nice. Yeah, that would be really nice too. Sometimes, something about a pasta.
Red sauce.
A red sauce. Yeah.
Something simmered in a red sauce.
Something
or baked in a red sauce.
Like it's something
lasagna.
rich.
You had lasagna this weekend?
Something rich enough.
What do you think? Would that work?
Sure. Ours is a vegetarian lasagna we normally make, but I think that would be nice. But this would also be good with like a braciole, like a stuffed meat, with different veg, like tomatoes, spinach, cheeses, like rolled into a flank steak would be so tasty, I feel like. And that cheese would go nicely too with it.
Yeah, the way this wine is drinking right now, it feels like a fall wine, like a stew wine. There's something that you brought up, like something braised or simmered would be, whether it's braised in wine or braised in whatever, like a stew.
Right.
It'd be really good.
Food, you think comfort food wine?
Yeah, I think it'd be very good. I think steak, I do. You could definitely have chicken with this wine, but I'm kind of thinking a meat, like a meaty kind of wine too.
Yeah, this would be fun. If we wanted kind of like switch gears though too. This would be nice with like shish kebabs.
Yeah.
Too. Like if we were thinking about us trying to do this in the summer, you could do
Mediterranean foods, hummus and falafel and
oh, that would be nice. Yeah. It's a pretty
gyros.
Versatile wine in terms of what you can chow down with it.
Yeah, and I think as it's getting a little air to it and warming up, I think I'm getting a little bit more flavor on this wine. I think it's mellowing out a little bit, or maybe it's me that's mellowing out a little bit. But I'm thinking more of like almost a little bit of jam, like cherry jam on it. Almost like a jelly or a jam I'm getting a little bit.
Okay.
Carla's like, I don't know. You're just making stuff up.
No, I don't think so. I think that there's definitely cherry. Like we are getting cherry on this wine.
For sure.
For sure.
Okay, let's rate this wine. As a reminder, on our rating scale, we rate on a scale of 1 to 10. We don't give half points. 7 and above means we would buy it. 4 and below means we're going to pour it down the sink. And a 5 or a 6 means we're going to drink it and finish it, but we're probably not going to buy it. So, Carmela, what rating are you going to give this wine?
Well, I would say I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
I think I'm going to give it a nice, just solid 7.
Okay. I'm going to start out with a 6.
Okay.
I like it. I would drink it. I'm not sure at this point I would buy it. But you know what? I'm going to let it sit out for a little bit. Just let that glass kind of sit out and see if it gets a little bit more air, if it starts to do a little better. Because sometimes really these wines need 20 minutes, half an hour to really kind of open up.
And I'm taking a better look at this label.
Okay.
And I know we shouldn't choose wines for labels.
No.
But I do really like this label. I'm just thinking that, it does have the Oregon State on there. And it's got some trees, like evergreens, and it's kind of a P&W wine.
P&W is Pacific Northwest for those of you who do not know.
Yeah, and it's like it could be a fun gift wine for a Pinot lover from Oregon or that's going to Oregon, or I just think it's kind of a cool label.
And look, this is a nice wine. Don't get me wrong. I give it a 6. Maybe I'll give it a 7. I don't know, but it's a nice wine. It's not a bad wine at all.
No.
I just have a high bar for Pinot.
You do.
So, okay, we're going to take a break and we're going to try our last wine.
Okay.
Okay, we're back and we're ready for our next wine. This is the Chehalem Estate Vineyard Pinot Noir from Willamette Valley, Oregon. Also a 2023, $50 at the winery, 14.1% alcohol, 100% Pinot Noir. This one got a 93 from Wine Spectator, a 92 from Wine Enthusiast, and an Editor's Choice. James Sucky Suckling gave it a 94, and Vivino gave it a 4. So before we taste it, this was not a screw cap, this actually had a cork. Before we taste it, what do you think about the color?
I think it's very pretty. Very similar to the last one. Yeah. And it's pretty and ruby and bright. And it looks like a Pinot.
I would almost say on the edges, it almost has a little bit of orangey orange.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Like kind of on the edges? Okay, let's smell it and see what we think. Earthy.
I was going to say vegetable, earth.
Well.
And a little bit of fire.
Yep. Now remember, yep. Remember, we did say the Pommard, it's 90% Pommard, and Pommard is famous for high tannins, intense earthiness, and savory notes. Remember I said that?
Okay.
I'm telling you, that's what's coming through. Very earthy, almost meaty in its savoriness, like umami-ish.
Yeah, it is. I know. When I first smelled it, I was a little bit turned off, but now I'm kind of getting into it. It's kind of like almost like you'd have like a grilled pepper.
Totally.
Something kind of with a little bit of burnt on it, a little bit of char.
Like a green pepper, a grilled green pepper, don't you think?
Yep. And so, I'm kind of getting that. I'm not getting as much fruit on it.
I'm not either. I'm getting a little bit of like flower, like not quite rose. Like, sometimes there are those stinky flowers in the fields. It's a little bit like that.
Last time I was in the field smelling stinky flowers.
I don't want to tell you. Kind of.
Wow. Field time.
Yeah. Now, I did open this wine up about 15 minutes ago, so I tried to give it a little bit of air. Mm-hmm. I am getting a little bit of like cherry on it, but it's very earthy. Like it's got a ton of earthiness to it.
Yes, it smells very all natural.
Natural. Like the forest floor.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like the grapes were just picked and haven't been washed.
I'm definitely getting now some more perfume, like rose perfume or like your grandma's perfume.
My grandma?
Not your grandma per se, but a grandma's perfume, like a potpourri kind of smell.
Yeah, but definitely more like dried flowers.
Dried flowers,
I think,
for sure. As it's like opening up, I am getting more and more different kinds of scents in it. Like part of me was getting a little bit of incense.
Wow, you're really getting a lot of
I know.
From earth to meat to rose to incense.
And now I'm getting some herbs too.
Oh, look at you go. I'm just
like
going to watch
bit.
you.
I know, it's very
his
weird.
Eyes over there.
No, it's very weird.
He's blindfolded. I've got him blindfolded over there.
No, but a little bit of like Italian herbs.
Oh, okay. Parsley,
oregano. More like oregano.
Basil.
Maybe a little basil. Yeah, maybe a little. I think we should taste it before I start smelling like, something crazy.
Right. Okay.
Let's do it. It's very earthy. It's got some, actually, in the taste, it's got some like jamminess. I feel like it's not quite cherry. It's more like blackberry. That's what I'm getting more of.
I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to figure this one out. I mean, it's maybe like blackberry bramble even, like, when it's you out picking blackberries, like on the side of the road.
Totally.
And
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And maybe they've been sprayed with something that you're not supposed to eat.
Oh, wow. But no, sometimes there's that little bit of brown, bramble on it.
Yep.
And you can taste it. That's what I'm kind of getting.
I'm getting a little bit of blueberry, like tart blueberry on it. Like an underripe blueberry.
Ooh.
But there's earth on this thing. There is like spice and earth, like cinnamon and clove. I'm not quite, like I'm almost getting a Dr. Pepper. Almost like a little pepper on it, like
root
but
beer-ish.
Almost like a little bit of cola. Like they were saying cola, but I'm thinking more like a Dr. Pepper.
Oh wow, which is a little spicy.
It is spicy. That's what they call it, the pepper.
Oh, I know.
Do you like better Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb?
I have not had either of them for probably 30 years.
And do you remember?
So that must have been I was like 1 or 2.
Do you remember Shasta?
I do.
I think they had the Skipper.
Wait, I don't get it.
It was their version of Dr. Pepper, but they call it the Skipper.
No.
Yes, they did. There's always these weird names.
Okay, the worst
Mr.
soda
Pibb, though.
was...
Mr. Pibb. Dr. Pepper and Mr. Pibb. They couldn't
Come
try
on.
any harder than
I don't
that.
know. This is
It's
totally
like
going
Pinot
on
Nuts or Pinot Nuts.
Right. This is going on a tangent, but the worst was Tab.
Tab was good and awful.
It was so awful.
It tasted like metal.
Yeah, it was like you could die from that.
I probably should have. I drank a lot of that.
Really?
Yeah. Because my aunt Agatha, she had
Really?
Tab. Well, because they were always trying to lose weight.
Oh.
And Tab was a diet soda.
Always diet.
Always diet.
There's no regular version, right?
And people drank it because it was diet, not because it tasted good. It didn't taste good.
So bad.
But I loved it. I don't know why. Huh. Sometimes you smell things that you smell bad or you taste it. Anyway, it was just kind of like that.
Yeah, like I used to like it when my mom would fill up the car at the gasoline station. I liked the smell. I don't think that's unusual.
I don't. Not a bit.
Okay, what are you thinking here? What else? You got a lot of cogs down here, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm cogs. I like it. I'm getting more and more fruit, but jammy, kind of more blue fruits.
Like plums?
No, well, a little bit.
Blueberry,
Actually, a little bit more
obviously.
like blueberry and blackberry and that kind of stuff.
That's a blue fruit, huh?
Well, maybe it's a black fruit, but I mean, come on.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting too nitpicky on you.
You're great. Okay, let's talk about the food we want to pair with the Chehalem Estate Vineyard Pinot Noir.
Well, I do think this would be a good wine for like a nice steak. Like I do think you could do a cheeseburger, a steak, something juicy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm with you. I think I think this one is a little bit less, for like we were talking about like stewed or braised or those kinds of things. I actually agree with you. I think this is more of like a steak, like a seared steak.
Right. Or you could even do some like sausages, like some different kinds of, I mean, I guess a lot of times it's pork sausage, but I think you could definitely do something with a little bit of fat on it.
I fully agree. I think the acidity on this wine could totally cut through it. I will say both of these wines have nice acidity, and both of them have what I would call like kind of tight tannins, like firm tannins. They're dry, but they don't linger. Like they are tight. They're like, you got it, and it's cleaning off your tongue right away. All right, I'm going to do something here, Carmela.
Okay.
I'm going to grab this other wine. I'm going to do it like a little bit of like
taste test.
taste test.
Little comparisons.
Yeah, let's see if I can, what do I honestly think
Okay.
between the two?
Give it to me.
I'm going to try it.
Okay.
Just don't pressure me.
Do you want me to like mix them up?
Oh, but then how would you remember?
I'd have to do something in order to remember.
Ooh, that could be kind of fun. Maybe we'll have to do that.
But you'd probably be able to pick it out now.
Probably.
Okay. Was that the first one? Was that the Soter?
The Soter. I'm actually now it's juicier. I'm kind of liking it. I think I might change my rating on it.
Okay. Funny how it really, when something sits a little bit, it does change.
Totally.
Okay.
I'm going to taste the Chehalem. This wine is so much smokier, earthier.
Yeah, it's very different.
Very
wine
different.
from the first one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're different. They're hard to even compare.
Mm-hmm. How would you rate this wine, the second wine?
It's funny. I don't know if I like it quite as much. My taste wise, some people, I might just like blow them out of the water. They're going to be like, what?
Yeah.
But for my taste, I think I'm going to give this one a 6.
Okay, you give it a 6. I'm giving it a 7, and I'm going back to the first one and giving it a 7.
Okay.
I think it's a really nice wine. I think they're both really nice wines.
I'm a cheap date.
You are a cheap date. Thank you for that. I just think they're different. What's great about this is they are very different experiences.
Yes, agree. Almost hard to even, you can't really compare them to each other.
Yeah, and I think they both need more time to be honest with you. I think that, but one thing I will say, so we had a $25 one and a $50 one. Neither one of them we didn't go, oh my gosh, this is so much better than, you know what I mean?
No, not at all.
So I think if you choose wisely, you can choose wines that you like that are, you don't have to spend a lot of money.
And I actually think you would, even though they're both Pinots, you'd choose one for different occasions.
For sure.
Like in terms of what you're enjoying with them.
For sure. Yeah. I think you're right. Which one of these would you finish tonight?
I'm going to go with the Soter.
I think you're Soter. I want a Soter. All right, let's talk about the taste profiles expected from Willamette Valley Pinot Noir. It's celebrated for its elegance, balancing bright red fruit with earthy, savory undertones and high acidity. Common flavor profiles include red cherry, raspberry, cranberry, and strawberry, often accented by forest floor, black tea, cola, and baking spices. Okay, it's Soter. The winery says, a lively expression of Willamette Valley Pinot Noir. This wine bursts with juicy notes of ripe cherry, raspberry, and red plum, hints of rose petal, a whisper of soft spice, and add depth. Finish is vibrant and fruity. Wine Spectre says, snappy and fan-friendly with lively flavors of cherry, pomegranate, and tarragon.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wine Enthusiast, fresh aromas of mint, saline, fresh and dark raspberries, tingly acidity. Wine's boysenberry, orange peel, and dark chocolate flavors cement the deal. That's kind of interesting.
Okay.
Vinea says lifts from the glass with vibrant black cherry and shavings of pine. Didn't I say that?
You said pine forest.
I did.
Wow.
Complemented with mentholated herbs.
Mentholated herbs.
I like that. Ripe wild berry fruit. Flourish of inner florals punctuates the close. Okay. The winery for the Chehalem says, aromatically, this wine is complex and constantly evolving with a vibrant mix. Actually, I do think that's true. I feel like as I kept drinking it, it did keep changing. With a vibrant mix of dark red fruit. I said blue fruits, but they said dark red fruit leaping from the glass.
Wow.
Floral notes of violets and rose petals, complemented by hints of sweet and savory spices. On the palate, it's bold yet layered, silky tannins, oak influence. Wine Enthusiast says the wine's earthy nose. So we were definitely going to mixes wet modeling clay with touches of saline. That's interesting. Violets and a whole lot of blackberries.
Oh, wow.
Come on, baby.
Nice
Velvety
work.
tannins and a lively acidity bolster flavors like tart blackberry, elderflower, and mint. So they got some herbs, but not oregano.
You were really grasping.
I was just like, give me some herb. Give me something, I'll do it. But I got the earthiness.
No, I got the blackberry.
Yeah, we both got the earthiness.
Yeah.
What's the verdict on Oregon Pinot Noir?
Oh, we really like them. Come on. We really warmed up to these guys.
We do. We like them. Yeah. She gave me a wink. So I'm kind of getting nutty about Oregon Pinot Noir. I will say that they do vary a ton. The two that I had this week in Vegas were very cherry, much more of what kind of I expect from a Pinot, but they're very different. And I think depending on what's nice about Oregon Pinot, and this is why it takes a little bit of time. Like you got to know your producers, is that you can get very different styles. Like the Chehalem style is much more, it's more meaty and rich. And these are just different from some of the other styles you're going to get. So I say try your Oregon Pinot Noir, but be picky about which ones you're going to taste. And just because you taste one and don't like it doesn't mean that you're not going to find one you like. All right, we're going to skip our wine in the news this week segment because we got a little long. And as Carmela said, I kind of did wine in the news this week.
You kind of did.
I kind of did it with all the studies said that you know why you really liked it?
Why?
Because we could skip the wine in the news segment.
No, I thought so. I kind of was like, wait,
you're getting tired of doodling.
No, my page is full. I'm full.
But wait, you're going to say, wait, did he?
No, but I was like, did he screw up the sequence? Because this sounds like wine in the news.
Me screw up?
All right. I mean, I would never question. I don't have the script.
I never screw up. Anyway, let's go. We're going to go to some listener shout outs. We have some fun listener shout outs this week. So Corinne, she reached out to us. She was talking about Alsace wine. She had an Alsace Sylvaner and was also talking about how they're starting to plant Syrah in Alsace. So Corinne, thanks for reaching out. And we love it when you reach out and tell us all about all the wines you're drinking. Ryan reached out to us, and this was the crazy one. I sent this to Carmela right away. But we love the movie Game Night. Well, it just so happens our buddy Ryan, one of our listeners, listeners, his neighborhood was chosen as the spot where they filmed part of game night.
Insane.
And they were using neighbors' houses as the houses. Like,
that
this
was
is
amazing. And he sent pictures.
I mean, this was one of the greatest.
Pictures of the houses and when they were taping.
No, this was one of the greatest emails I've ever received in my life.
We were both just stunned, mouths wide open.
Mouths wide
gaping.
open.
Oh.
And then Adrienne reached out. She said she drank an Austrian Pinot Noir this weekend and a New World Riesling from an Australian producer that she said you could mistake as an Old World German Riesling. It was so good.
Oh.
And we also got a note from Shaker, who said that Forbes published a feature yesterday, and he was one of the 4 experts interviewed. And so we'll put a link to that in our show notes. And thanks, Shaker, for always reaching out.
Well done.
Yeah, we love it when you guys reach out and tell us what's going on. We super dig it. And so we'll always shout you out. We always respond. And by the way, I got a little note from a winemaker named Brian. So we're going to see if we can get Brian in an interview. But you know what? Let's also talk a little bit about wines coming up in future episodes in case you want to drink along with us, because I added a few more. And if you go to our show notes, you can find out the exact wines that we're drinking, the vintage, links, and everything. So we're going to do White Rioja. We're going to do 2 Buck Chuck. We're going to do Lebanese wines. Yes, I said 2 Buck Chuck, Carmela. We're going to do 2 Buck Chuck. Lebanese wines, Italian Sangiovese that's not Chianti, Alsace Pinot Gris, and we're going to do Frappato, which is going to be one of our Italian wine adventures.
Woo!
But with that, we are going to sign off. So thank you for listening to us and supporting our show. And remember, we buy all of our own wine, and we do all of the writing and recording and editing to bring you a show every week because we love doing it. And our small, tiny, little, teeny, tiny ask for you is that you please follow or subscribe to our podcast, let your family and friends know about us, and please leave us a nice rating and review to help us grow our listeners. And a huge thank you to all of you who do that. We so appreciate you. You can also follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at The Wine Pair Podcast. You can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. You can sign up for our email newsletter there, and you can visit our shop wine section where you can find links to buy the wines that we rate as buys in each episode. We also want to make content that you care about, so send us a note or DM us and give us some feedback and let us know if there's wines you want us to try or winemaking areas of the world you're curious about, and we will take care of it for you. Joe at thewinepairpodcast.com is the email address you should use. But with that, we're going to sign off. So thank you once again. We'll see you next time. And as we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I always think too much.